Hello students. Today we will continue the working stress method. We will see how to design a RCC beam using working stress method. What are the concepts involved in the working stress method? First we will learn. Okay? Because this is a subject, introductory subject of design for you all. So you should know what a beam is. Okay? A beam is a structural element that primarily resists the loads. It's a structural element that primarily resists the loads applied laterally, okay, laterally to the beam's axis. So this is a beam section, longitudinal section I am showing, okay. So this is going to resist the lateral loads coming on the beam, okay. Its mode of deflection is primarily due to bending. It bends its mode of deflection will be because of the load. It bends like this. Its deflection will be like this. When it is subjected to transverse load, its mode of deflection is primarily by bending. Okay. Then I'll just draw two diagrams. First is a simply supported beam. Okay, this is a simply supported beam. It is subjected to the loading. I am showing the drawing of a deflected beam resting on two supports, simply supported beam. Okay, this is a simply supported beam. This is an axis, imaginary line passing through the CG of the section. Okay. Now when the loads are applied, it is going to deflect like this. Fine. It is going to deflect like this. Okay. The zone above is called as compression. The zone below this axis is referred as neutral axis. Okay. So what is neutral axis? I'll explain you once again. Just for the time being, you can say it is an imaginary line passing through the CG of the section. Okay, along this line the member will be neither subjected to compression nor tension. Okay, that is why it is called as neutral axis. This is a simply supported beam subjected to transverse load in bending condition. So this is in tension. So what I am going to do is I am providing steel here. Okay, this is one. So this above figure shows that in simply supported beams, simply supported RCC beams subjected to transverse load, when it is subjected to bending due to transverse load, steel is provided in the tension zone. Okay, steel is placed in the tension zone. Right. So another example is cantilever. This is bending downward. You can see bending downward. Now if you take a cantilever example, okay, when it is subjected to loading, it bends like this. Okay, right. So this is the axis. So here you can see the zone above is subjected to tension. You can see the fiber is under tension. Here they are in compression. So this is tension zone and this is compression zone. So we will provide steel in this zone, in tension zone. So whether it is simply supported or whether it is cantilever, we are going to provide steel in the tension zone. Okay. So in case of the first simply supported beam, the steel is provided at some depth from the neutral axis. Okay. Similarly, in cantilever beam, this is a cantilever beam. So in this also we are providing steel in tension zone at some height above neutral axis. Okay. So we are providing the steel in the tension zone, right? So whether it is cantilever or whether it is simply supported, we are going to provide steel only in the tension zone. Such beams where steel is provided only in the tension zone is referred as singly reinforced beam. Is referred as singly reinforced beam. Okay. Such beams are beams in which steel is provided only in tension zone is called as singly reinforced beam. So if you draw the section, cross section, okay, this figure we have been seeing in our last classes, steel is provided here. This is tension zone. Whether it is tension zone is above or tension zone is below, either cases we are going to provide steel only in the tension zone. Such beams are called as singly reinforced beams. Okay, in certain scenarios, in certain cases, we will be compelled to provide steel even in the compression zone. Okay, what are those conditions? We will learn when we do doubly reinforced beams. Right now, we are going to do only singly reinforced beams to begin with. Okay, so sometimes when the load is very heavy, okay, so if we go for the design, the depth of the section will be coming very big. In such cases, to restrict the depth, we provide steel in the compression zone also to take up the stresses, to take up the compression stresses. Such beams are referred as doubly reinforced beams. So these are the two types of beams, doubly reinforced beams. Okay. So we will do singly reinforced beam. Fine. So I'll just first draw how the singly reinforced beam will be and how the stresses will be developed. Let us understand the singly reinforced beam working stress method design concepts. Okay, this is a singly reinforced beam where steel is provided in the tension zone. So when the load on the beam is small, both concrete and steel resist tension. But as the load further increases, the concrete stresses will reach its maximum value and it cracks. Then only steel will take up the tensile stresses. Now you can see these figures, this figure. It shows the general stress distribution of the compressive stresses. You can see tensile stresses are same. Okay. So this figure shows the general compressive stress distribution of a beam on a beam as the load increases. So when the load is further increased, there will be a stage where the stress in concrete reaches its maximum permissible stress. Okay, that is CBC. So here the concrete becomes plastic. Okay, the concrete becomes plastic without any increase in load. It starts deforming. Okay, so at one stage the concrete will fail without giving the warning. It will be a sudden, because here the concrete has reached its maximum compressive stress. Okay, it has reached the plastic stage. Okay, so without any increased load, the concrete continues to fail. The concrete will fail due to the crushing or cracking. So you can see here, this is the failure of concrete. See, you can see at the top, the concrete has started crushing. So it will be a sudden failure. Concrete failure, when concrete fails, the failure is sudden without any warning. Right? So, but in case of tensile stresses, as the tensile stresses increases and reaches its permissible value, then beyond that it pops up at the bottom. It pops up at the bottom. So the beam may fail due to the failing of steel or sometimes due to the crushing of concrete at the top. Right? So when the steel reaches maximum permissible steel and it fails due to the steel, then it will give warning before failure. Okay? Now, let us understand what is this means. Equivalent area meaning, what it is. Okay? So you can I'll just refer back this figure later on. First let me explain. When the load is small, okay, when the load is small, so small that the tensile stresses developed in the concrete is less than the permissible value. Okay, you know the tensile stress of concrete is very less. Okay, so by loading is so small that the tensile stress developed in the concrete is less than the permissible. In such cases, the concrete area below the neutral axis will not crack. The concrete area below the neutral axis will not crack. Such section is called as uncracked sections. That is, when the tensile stresses are less than the permissible stresses. That is in the tension zone, not in the compression zone. Okay, so this is an uncracked section. You know, RCC is a composite material. It has got steel as well as concrete. Okay, so what we are going to do is, here we are going to convert this steel area into equivalent area of concrete. Into the equivalent area of concrete means we are replacing steel. It is just on the paper we are going to do, not practically. Okay, so on the paper we are converting, we are making it homogeneous. Whatever is the area of steel, that we are going to replace it by the equivalent area of concrete. Instead of a composite material, we are going to make it as a homogeneous material. So we are going to replace steel by an equivalent area of concrete. So how we are going to convert it? How we are going to convert steel area into equivalent area of concrete? Now let us see that. So just now I have said that if the loads are small, okay, when the loads are small, the tensile stresses in the concrete in tension zone are less than the permissible. Okay, just talking about tension because steel is in the tension zone. Okay, so when the loads are small, the tensile stresses in the concrete is less than permissible, then the concrete will not crack. Okay, what I said is, here when the load is small, the concrete will have its tensile stresses less than the permissible. That means strain in steel is equal to strain in concrete. Okay, because concrete is not reaching its permissible stresses in tension. So this I'll convert it. You know, we have a relationship, E is equal to, okay, stress by strain. Strain, if it is concrete, if it's a steel, stress by strain. If it's concrete, then stress by strain. Okay, if I take this side, this becomes T by ES. Stress by modulus of elasticity. This relationship we have seen yesterday when we have seen in the last class when we were doing the stress strain curve. Okay, so stress by modulus of elasticity is strain. So same way here, C by EC. Okay, C by EC. So here, because concrete is in the tension zone, I will write it as C dash. That is stress in concrete in the tension zone, right? So then we get stress, this is equal to ES by EC into stress in concrete in the tension zone. Or we know what is ES by EC, it is modular ratio. So like this we are getting a relationship. The tensile stress in steel is M times the tensile stress in concrete, or conversely the tensile stress in concrete is equal to the tensile stress in steel by modular ratio, that is 1 by M times of tensile stress. So this is the equivalent relationship. Okay, so this is how we have got a relationship in the stresses. Okay, equivalent concrete stress is equal to 1 by M times the tensile stress in steel. Now you can see this figure. This figure represents the stress distribution of an equivalent area. This is the equivalent area of concrete. Okay, so now again we will develop a relationship using load carried, because we are replacing steel with concrete. So whatever load steel was carrying, it must be equated to the load carried by the concrete. Okay, so load carried by steel is equal to load carried by equivalent concrete. So I hope you are understanding what is equivalent concrete means. We are removing steel, not practically on the paper, we are just converting the steel area into equivalent concrete area to make it a homogeneous member. Okay, so load carried by stress. Again here if you see it, stress is equal to force by area or load by area. So load is equal to stress into area. Okay, stress into area. So area of steel, stress is T. Okay, stress in steel is T multiplied by AST. that is the load carried by the steel, is equal to load carried by the equivalent area of concrete. Okay, so if AC dash is the area of concrete, here this is AC dash, this is one. Okay, if AC dash is the area of equivalent concrete, you multiply with the stress in the equivalent concrete, that is C dash. Okay, now we are finding out the equivalent area of concrete. So equivalent area of concrete is equal to T into AST by C dash. T into AST by C dash. Okay, now this is, we have relationship here, you can see T by C dash is equal to M. So equivalent area of concrete is equal to M into AST. So if you want the steel area in terms of concrete, then simply you have to multiply the area of steel with modular ratio M. Okay, fine. So the net increase area, net increase, because concrete area is increasing. Originally it was AC, now AC dash has also come. So net equivalent area will be equal to net equivalent concrete area is in the uncracked section will be equal to AC dash minus area of steel. Net equivalent area of concrete ACE will be equal to equivalent area of concrete minus area of steel. So just now we have calculated MAST minus AST. So this is M minus 1 into AST. So this is the equivalent area of concrete. You can see here M minus 1 into AST by 2, M minus 1 into AST by 2. Together you add it up, it becomes M minus 1 AST. So in case of uncracked section, when will you call it uncracked section? When the load is small, the tensile stresses in the concrete in tension zone is less than the permissible, then the section will not crack. In such case, we are replacing this steel, we are removing, we are replacing it by some concrete, that is equal to M minus 1 into AST. Okay. Now coming to the other type of section, that is cracked section, converting the area of steel into equivalent area of concrete when the section is cracked. That was uncracked. So you know, all of you know when it will be uncracked. That is when the loads are small, the concrete below the neutral axis tensile stresses will be less than the permissible one. In such cases, the concrete will not crack. So as the load increases, the tensile stresses in the concrete below neutral axis will reach its permissible stresses, maximum permissible stresses, and the concrete cracks. Even under normal loading, it will crack. So in such cases, the concrete in the tension zone will become ineffective in taking up compressive stresses also. So the entire compressive stresses will be taken up by the concrete above the neutral axis, and the entire tensile stresses will be taken up by the steel below the neutral axis. Right? So the simple thing is that when the load is more, the concrete will crack. So in such cases, how to convert the steel area into equivalent concrete area, right? So when the load reaches the maximum, that is maximum means more, when the load is more, when the section has become cracked, then we have to see that the load carried by steel is equal to load carried by the equivalent area of concrete. Okay, load, because we are converting this steel into concrete, so load carried by the steel will be equal to the load carried by the equivalent concrete. Now with this assumption or with this logic, we will get the formula to convert the steel area into equivalent concrete area. Okay, load carried by steel is equal to load carried by equivalent concrete. So once again, what is load? Load is equal to stress into modulus of elasticity. stress into modulus of elasticity. Okay, so load, what is it? Stress. Stress is equal to load by area. So this is stress into area. So if I talk about steel, then stress is represented by T. Area of steel is represented by AST. Okay, same way on the right hand side, load carried by the equivalent concrete. So equivalent concrete stress is C. Then equivalent area concrete is represented by ACE. Okay, so now we want ACE. ACE is equal to T by C into AST. Already from the earlier derivation, we know what is TC. T by C. T by C is modular ratio. Like this, we get the steel area. When you multiply with the modular ratio, then it will be converted into equivalent area of concrete in uncracked zone. So that is M into AST. This is M into AST. Okay. So if unknowns are more, then solving will become difficult. So what we do is we convert the steel area into equivalent area of concrete and solve it. Right.